Hey, so this is a bit of a different interview. I'm with a fucking beast, Lockie. He's not inside of Born to Close, but he's been coached by me the last month and a half or so on a fitness offer that I'm managing. So just got him on to talk a little bit about his results, about his experience working with me, and just see if he can give people a good perspective on what it's like to be coached by me. So yeah, Lockie, do you want to intro yourself a little bit, mate?
G'day, I'm Lockie, 20 years old from Australia. Started closing around first week of September. So what's that? Coming on, just closed out 3 months and been working with Dan since October 21 because I track everything.
Okay, track everything, mate. Good. Something you've got on me that I'm not the best at. I guess for you, what was your situation for the people at home or people watching this on YouTube before you started working with me as your coach?
Essentially, I had come in face-to-face sales experience, did quite well. Obviously, that gave me, I guess, the insight and confidence to know that online space is where it's at if I want to scale this. Came in my first month, started with a business owner on his unqualified calls. I did quite well, got promoted to qualified calls, and then hit like a performance dip, like a bit of a rut. And essentially, it was get replaced or get the training. And the business owner I was with at the time was still taking some calls. He had envisions and plans to obviously scale out himself, but he thought, why don't we actually invest in the training together? So I took a 3% commission cut, which obviously paid off the mentorship, and I think my net income 3x'd within the first month. So
Sick.
sure.
I didn't know that you took the commission cut, mate. That's cool.
Yeah, no
What
handouts.
nah, that's good. What was you making in terms of like commissions and close rate, things like this before we start working together?
I think before you, I was one from the last 10. And then my first from September 11 was the first deal I ever closed. And then through to October 21, I had only, which was when we started working, I'd closed 31,500 in USD. So that was a little over a month, but also my first month ever in closing, and half of that was unqualified calls.
Yeah, okay. So you made around 3K comms, assuming you had a 10% commission. And then
In just over my first month.
yeah,
Yeah.
which actually isn't horrible for like a beginner. Well, I was very impressed. And to be honest, when I first started coaching you, Vinny sent me like a call. And
hmm
I'm not gonna sit here and say like any person I coach in 1 month, I'm gonna like double their performance because I like knew that it'd be easy to get you good. Because you just needed like small tweaks, not big tweaks, and you already had like the internal game dialed, in my opinion. But what was the outcome of training with me for a month? You said you
As in terms of actual numbers and outcome.
yes, exactly.
Well, in November, I closed at a 55% rate of all calls, 78% on qualified, so excluding people that didn't get qualified for financing.
Mhm.
And my total cash collected, call it November, so bar the first 9 days we worked together,
Mhm.
in the first month of being together was 104,250. So it was around 12K in commissions. So yeah, about 4x income in the first month.
What do you think contribute, obviously, besides your hard work? Because I know that you work hard, and like I just said, you like not everyone's going to get the result you got as quick because they're not as primed to learn as fast. They're not as caring for the prospect. They're not as confident. So, like, there's internal things that you had before I coached you that usually take me a while to coach people. What do you think made the biggest shifts for you in Forex in your income?
Yeah, I think having a structure to follow. I'm quite methodological, help me out, learner. So watching all of the things that you would do right, I would then anything I like, anything I heard, write it down, kind of have it in my framework. I think it's all pattern recognition. All the prospects are the same with whatever offer you're on. They'll all say the same shit. So kind of understanding where I was getting stuck, where that's coming up, having a little drop down menu with a framework to follow, and just having the confidence that I have all the resources. So I think your abundance of content, in terms of actual a method to follow with obviously you got logic phase and then your discovery, that helped tremendously because transparently like 99% of my closes have been objectionless, and
Mhm.
one of these objections it's always just money and actually opening their eyes to another thing. It's like I think I've only had one value one,
Mhm.
and in my own opinion value is one where you're like, okay, I didn't actually do the discovery well enough. Like you can do everything well enough and they can still be financially conscious, so that's just about handling that.
Yeah.
But value is obviously like, okay, well you didn't actually make the pain big enough.
Mhm.
So I think that's a reflection on the fact that the method works. And obviously, as you say, every method works, like with weight loss, what we tell these guys, but it's just about actually sticking to one and committing to mastering it.
Good stuff. Is there anything specific or enjoyable you found about, I guess, working? I know we're going to keep working with each other because I'm fucking managing the team now, but is there anything you've enjoyed up to this point that you think helped you out?
So besides obviously our work consistent together was consistent of two one-to-one calls during the week and all your modules and content. I think people will probably underestimate the modules and content. I know that I transparently absorbed a lot more and learned a lot more than the business owner, despite him coming to all the weekly one-on-ones just because I went through all the content. So I'd say definitely do that. But then, yeah, I guess you actually caring as well. Like you'll always reach out, review calls, voice notes, phone calls. It's like you genuinely do want to help compared to, I mean, a lot of people see themselves as like a course seller or a mentor because that's their source of income. Whereas you can tell that you're actually in it for good reasons and want to help people succeed. So yeah, I think people sell people. I testify, obviously, a combination of my hard work, but obviously with your guidance and mentorship, 1,000,000%.
Appreciate it. I do think that more of it, I know we're obviously talking about my program, my resources, my coaching, but I think just like anyone who learns from me, it's going to boil down more to you. So you should more be proud of yourself than proud of me.
Thanks, bro.
And getting the result. The funny thing is with the content as well, like have more if you need it. I gave you and Vinny like 15, 20 hours of like 700 to 800 hours of content that I've got. But you've just like absorbed it very quickly. I think I told you this, but I think you're definitely better than me after 3 months of me being in sales. So you got a lot of potential.
Thanks, bro.
But yeah, what's on the horizon for you, mate?
See, I don't like to talk about goals too publicly until I hit them because I think I heard sometimes somewhere that psychologically when you start vocalizing goals that you haven't hit, it tricks your brain to think you've actually hit them. That being said, like I obviously do have pretty clear-cut goals. 200K cash collected is obviously my first big goal. And then in a month, and then to scale from there, obviously learn from you, train the trainer, like what that starts to look like, and starting to obviously pass my knowledge on to other closers in the team. And yeah, I guess head in the clouds, feet on the ground. That's what they say, isn't it?
I've never heard that.
Come on.
That's a good one. I understand the point. You want to
Why do you understand it then?
head in the clouds, like I'm dreaming, but I'm still fucking in reality.
Red hot.
Okay, mate. Well, that's good. Like I said, I think that you should be very proud of yourself. To be honest, I had no doubts when I started coaching you. I knew it was gonna be fucking easy to get your results. So once again, for people watching, like it's impressive, but Lockie is hardworking and he already had a lot of like internal work done from being an athlete, which I see a lot in the time in the space. But if he can do it, then so can you. So appreciate you hopping on with me, mate.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll redo it when you're at 30K a month. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
So the first things first, we have an actual roadmap focused on 3 things, and we start everyone with state. So we have videos in here in that they take you directly to school in our school group where you can actually watch the videos and complete, if there's an action step as well. And we have everyone start with state because we do have like 600 plus hours of, videos in the school group, but we created this roadmap. This roadmap's only about 10 hours so that you can get directly the information you need right now to start and get the highest level information. And then later you can go back and actually go through the rest of the videos. So that's the first thing we start with is state. And real quick, before I even talk about that, the reason we start with state is because this is the most important part. Right? Once you do the internal work and once you actually start making a change of who you are, all the different options with your skill and offer start to open up. So after state, we then have what's called the bottleneck, which is what do you need help with next? Do you need to land a better role or do you need to get better skill? Right? You might need to do both, but which one is actually affecting you from making the money you need to make, the most? So depending on what that is, we have information on how to actually land the A+ offers. We actually help people with placement as well. And then we have the skill. And so skill is broken up into 2 parts. Part number 1, we have the Born to Close framework and everything that goes into following that framework and executing it on a sales call. And then number 2, we have skill part B, which is the execution skills. Like what do you do before a call? What do you do after a call? The different ways you can get more people to show up to your calls, the different ways you can get more cash collected and things like this. So that is the 3 main parts, again, of the roadmap, which is the state, the skill, and the role, the offer. And then we also have, for anyone who's interested in learning more, we have a 10-day challenge. Free challenge is a free school group. So there's a link in the description. So we have 10 days and we actually go through a lot of that material as well. So you can either hit me or Daniel up. If you want to talk about the mentorship, you could also go through our free 10-day challenge and then we can talk to you soon.